Hello, welcome to OMAT. So glad you're here because we're going to get into these exercises. But first, I want to talk about decision fatigue. Wow, that we can get tired from having choices. I have so much freedom that I'm exhausted. But it's real. It's so real. So I've been thinking about it, and here are the ways that I combat decision fatigue. One, simplify the choices. So let's say we're trying to feed a 5-year-old breakfast. We don't tell them to look in the fridge and go, tell me what you want for breakfast. We could say something like, what do you want for breakfast? Eggs or celery? Ooh, given those choices, might be a little simpler to choose which one. Number two, I try to do one thing that I hate a day. So maybe I'm not finishing my taxes today, but maybe I am working on them today, because then I'm in practice of doing things that I don't like doing that I need to do. That practice takes me a long way. Also, not doing it perfect. Please just make a decision. I'm talking to myself there. Please, this is probably not the last decision of your life. It doesn't have to be so precious. Choose something. And finally, take breaks. My processor needs a break. It needs a reboot. And you know what? Just like restarting the computer, I kind of don't want to do it, but I know it will help. So meditation, writing, those are the kinds of breaks that I take. Those are the kinds of workouts that we work right here. We do 8 exercises, some of which we might not like or gravitate towards. So we'll practice doing healthy things for ourselves so that when we reach another thing today that we need to do, that we don't really want to, we are in practice. So let's get into our practice, into the present moment. How do you do that? Sometimes I really just take a deep breath. Sometimes I actually say, ugh. And that takes me to the next moment. Isn't that, if that's interesting to you, let it be interesting. Let's get into our exercises of gratitude. You could say, ugh, here's my gratitude, but maybe that'll help you find some gratitude. Let's practice this muscle, looking for anything to be grateful for right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. And sometimes I don't want to drink the water, but I do it anyway and go, oh, that's right, that feels good, which is so interesting to me. And that's why sometimes I do the things I don't want to do, because I like them. I just have to get started, which is difficult sometimes. So let's keep practicing. Let's practice deciding what we get to think about in our own mind. This is the practice. Pause what you're thinking about. Pause that relentless thought. Let yourself think about it later. With that permission, allow yourself to think of something else now. Pause those thoughts, sitting in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed, and breathe. As we come back, find the water. And isn't that funny that we have to remind ourselves we have permission to take that 1 minute. And we take that 1 minute here so that we could feel what it feels like and then allow ourselves to take it out there in the world. Let's keep going. Let's write it down. We're going to write down not precious thoughts, angry thoughts, happy thoughts, thoughts that we don't even know what they mean, how we feel about them. Let's write words down. Any words. Write the word word. Let's write it down because that's what we're doing right now. Write down. Let's wrap the writing for now. Finding water. And you might say, Chemda, you do these exercises. You do them most days. You're not perfect. That's right. I'm not. And I never will be. But I gotta say, I am so much better than before. Let's keep going. Let's stretch. I'm stretchier than before. I know that for a fact. I could reach more things. Let's practice. Let's do a sun salutation and do it however you want. Listen to your body by moving slow. If it stops you from going further, that's great. Let's go. Standing if you could stand. Inhale your arms up. Deep breath, deep breath. Even that deep breath changes something. And exhale, fold forward. Long exhale. When you're ready, halfway lift with a flat back, looking up, straightening the legs. And let's get into a high plank. Plant your palms down on the ground where you are. Step your feet back. And then lower slowly all the way down to the ground. Once your body's on the ground, push your palms and look up. Your chest is up. And if you like it there, stay for another second or two. Meet us in down dog. Hips up into an upside down V. Stay here for a few seconds if you like. Maybe slightly moving your legs if that feels good. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. When you're ready, walk forward towards your hands. And then start rolling up slowly, meeting your palms above the head. Exhaling them down to the center of the chest. Feeling good if you did any of the stretches. And it's not too late, right? As we get our water, because we just did our sun salutation or whatever stretch, you suddenly realize you've really just been sitting there. You didn't practice. Raise your arms up right now. Raise your arms up right now, and you can say that you stretched a little today. Crossing that line of getting started, which is sometimes the most difficult. Let's see if we could bring that energy into our plank. Decide to get into the plank pose for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That combats that feeling of I don't want to, I don't know when to get started, I don't want to get... None of that. None of that. We're going to make the decision nice and easy. We are getting into the plank pose. That's the decision. And we're going in 3, 2, 1. We're up in plank pose. Why? Because we said we would do it. So that decision was made. And now we're up in a plank pose for 10 seconds. Look at that. If you passed the 3 seconds that you promised yourself, if you got to 5 seconds today and you normally do 4, what a win. You're in for 20 seconds. Now, as we get longer in this pose, as we stay in this pose, it gets a little bit more challenging. How do we face that challenge for 30 more seconds? Find that person in you. There's so many people in us. Some that discourage us. Some that embrace us. Some that make us feel better. With 20 seconds left, find the person in you that says, I can do it. Bring that person forward. Let them know they have the floor for 10 more seconds. Help me out with this. Let me know I can do it. Hold me in this plank for longer for 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Come down off the plank. Maybe stretch your way back. Find your water. Perhaps find what I say silly while you're in the plank. What do you mean I have different people talking to me? But we do. I have all kinds of conversations with myself. Who are those people talking? Let's keep going. Give ourselves a little credit. If you got into that plank pose, you did what you said you were supposed to do. Let's see if we could bring that energy into procrastination and breaking some of it. Again, it's the getting started. So let's get started on something. How do we do that? We make a decision, find the smallest thing, and decide that it's an experiment. It is not the end all. It is not the only decision. It is not the biggest decision. Find a small one and make it taking a task on right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding the water. And we're wrapping a 1-minute task. Remember that. Remember that it can't be big. It can't be a huge result. It is 1 minute of your time. So if you don't like what you just did, if you thought you wasted your time, you wasted a minute. Let's move on. Let's get into our connection. Looking to connect with another person. Looking to say something. What do I say? Well, this is the practice of what do I say? How do I socialize? How do I connect? Let's warm up that muscle and look for some connection right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. And if during this exercise, all you found was that you really don't know how to connect with someone, okay, that's just information. That is great information to figure out in 1 minute. We don't have to do anything about it. Let's keep going. Our final exercise here is aerobics. We're going to get moving on all of the parts that we get to move. We're going to exercise them and continue to get to use them in our life. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Move your body in any way. If you must sit for this, then that's fine. Move whatever part lets you move in this minute right now. And it's 10 seconds in. If you haven't started, find a way to start. Then that's your exercise right now is how do I start? Allow yourself to start. That's 20 seconds in. And as we go, just like the plank, just like any physical exercise, the more we do it, the more it becomes a little more challenging. So for 30 seconds, we're going to practice meeting a challenge. We're going to practice coming up to that fatigue and saying, do I have more? Do I have 20 seconds? Even though my body's kind of like, well, this is not exactly what I want to be doing. Okay, can you do it anyway for 10 seconds? If you're not hurting yourself, will it feel better to keep going? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1, and you're done. There it is. Congratulations on trying. Maybe you know how you feel. Maybe you got a little closer to that. Either way, thank you for taking OMAT today.